Richard, thank you for joining us today. Your comedy has had such a profound impact on so many. How do you view the relationship between your humor and your life experiences?
Thank you for having me. Comedy is like a drug. It's a high that can take you away from all your problems. I believe that the best comedy comes from pain and suffering. I've had my fair share of ups and downs, and I've learned that if you can't laugh at yourself, you might as well be dead. Life is a series of tests, and humor has been my way of coping with it all.
That's a powerful perspective. You often talk about the importance of authenticity in comedy. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing, to be honest, if you're honest, you're funny. You have to be willing to make fun of yourself and the absurdities around you. I was never a conventional comic. I pushed boundaries because I wanted to connect with people on a deeper level. If you can make people laugh about their struggles, you help them see that they're not alone.
As you've aged, how has your view on life and your approach to comedy evolved?
Old age is a funny thing. You get wiser, but you also get a little crazier. With age, I started to appreciate the little things more, like spending time with family and friends. I realize what really matters. I'm learning to accept the changes that come with getting older, and I'm at the age now where I feel that I can do anything. You start to see the world differently, and it's liberating.
Race has been a significant theme in your comedy. How do you see the role of humor in addressing racial issues?
Race is a part of my life. It's part of my comedy. I can't separate the two. You have to laugh to keep from crying in this world, especially as a black man. The only way to deal with racism is to confront it head on through laughter. I'm not here to make people comfortable. I'm here to make them think. Humor can be a powerful tool for change, and I don't want my comedy to spark those conversations. Fame can be a double-edged sword. How have you navigated the challenges that come with being a celebrity? Fame is tricky. It can elevate you, but it can also destroy you. I never wanted to be famous. I just wanted to be funny. When you're famous, everyone thinks they know you, but they only know the persona. I'm grateful for my success, but I also understand its pitfalls. You have to stay grounded and remember where you came from. It's easy to get lost in all the noise.
What advice would you give to younger artists who are just starting their careers?
I tell them to be true to themselves and not be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. Embrace every stage of your life as a gift and find humor in it. Life is a journey, and you can't laugh at it. You're missing out on the best part. You have to take life as it comes. That's what I do. Richard, comedy has always been deeply personal. Can you share a specific experience from your life that significantly influenced your work? Sure. One of the most significant experiences was growing up in a poor neighborhood and witnessing the struggles of my family and friends. I remember my grandmother, a strong woman who always found a way to make us laugh even in tough times. Those moments shaped my understanding of life, humor. Laugh in the darkest moments. You give them hope. Comedy became my way of processing the world around me. And I learned that life is like a meringue. It's just beautiful, but it doesn't last.
Your ability to blend humor with serious topics is remarkable. How do you balance the two in your performances?
It's all about timing and honesty. When you tackle serious subjects, you have to approach them with empathy and respect. But then, you also have to find the light in those situations. I often say that you can't take life too seriously. It's just one big joke. If I can make people laugh while also making them think, I feel like I've done my job. Speaking of legacy, How do you want to be remembered in the world of comedy? I want to be remembered as someone who pushed boundaries, who wasn't afraid to tackle difficult subjects, and always stayed true to himself. I want people to see that I was a survivor, someone who went through hell and back, but still found a way to laugh and make others laugh. If my comedy can inspire even one person to embrace their truth and find joy in their struggles, then I've succeeded. How do you view the future of comedy, especially in today's social climate? The future of comedy is bright, but it's also complicated. With social media and instant feedback, comedians have to navigate their messages carefully. But I believe that comedy will always find a way to thrive. There will always be a need for laughter, especially during tough times. I encourage young comedians to be bold and honest. Remember, you have to keep your heart open, your eyes wide. The world is waiting for your voice. As you reflect on your own journey, what do you think are the most important lessons you've learned over the years? One of the most important lessons is that life is about learning and growing. You can't be afraid to change and evolve. I've had my share of mistakes, but I've learned to embrace them. Life is about the journey, not the destination. I also learned that love is at the core of everything we do. I love people, and that love drives my comedy. It's what connects us all.
Richard, your comedy has always been deeply personal. Can you share a specific experience from your life that significantly influenced your work?
Sure. One of the most significant experiences was growing up in a poor neighborhood and witnessing the struggles of my family and friends. I remember my grandmother, a strong woman who always found a way to make us laugh even in tough times. In my routine, I often say I had a rough childhood. I was raised in a whorehouse. Those moments shaped my understanding of life and humor. I found that if you can make people laugh in the darkest moments, you give them hope. Comedy became my way of processing wine. And I learned that life is like a meringue. It's beautiful, but it doesn't last.
Your ability to blend humor with serious topics is remarkable. How do you balance the two in your performances?
It's all about timing and honesty. When you tackle serious subjects, you have to approach them with empathy and respect. But then you also have to find the light in those situations. I often say, the thing I love about being a comedian is that I can go anywhere and talk to anybody. If I can make people laugh while also making them think, I feel like I've done my job.
Speaking of legacy, how do you want to be remembered in the world of comedy?
I want to be remembered as someone who pushed boundaries, who wasn't afraid to tackle difficult subjects, and who always stayed true to himself. I've often said, I'm not a star, I'm just like you. If my comedy can inspire even one person to embrace their truth and find joy in their struggles, then I've succeeded.
Richard, you've always been unflinching when it comes to addressing societal issues in your comedy. How important is it for comedians to speak on these topics?
Crucial. Comedy is a mirror to society. You have to reflect the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. As I once said, I can't help it if I'm funny. I'm just like you. If we don't speak up, who will? I believe that humor can break down barriers and challenge perceptions. I've always used my platform to talk about race, poverty, and the struggle of race. Because if you can laugh about it, you can face it. You've had quite a journey through fame, personal struggles. How have those experiences shaped your perspective on life? Fame is a double-edged sword. It can elevate you, but it can also destroy you. I said, I'm not here to make people comfortable. I'm here to make them think. My personal struggles like battling addiction and dealing with the ups and downs of relationships have taught me resilience. Life is tough, and it's easy to lose yourself in the glitz and glamour. But I always come back to my roots, and that's what grounds me. You have to remember where you came from, or you might get lost. Looking back at your career, how do you feel about the evolution of comedy style over the years? My comedy has evolved a lot, just like I have. In the beginning, I was trying to fit into a mold, but then I realized I'm not going to let anybody tell me how to live my life. I started to dig deeper in my experiences, sharing my vulnerabilities and truths. I found that the more honest I was, the stronger the connection with my audience became. And that's where the magic happens, when you can be real and raw. What role do you think humor plays in healing, especially in your own life? Humor is essential for healing. It's like medicine. I've often said, you have to laugh to keep from crying. When I went through tough times, whether it was losing loved ones, battling my demons, comedy helped me cope. It allowed me to process my pain and share that experience with others. If I can make someone laugh through their struggles, then I feel fulfilled. Laughter is a universal language that connects us all.
As you look to the future, what do you hope for the next generation of comedians?
I hope they stay true to themselves and aren't afraid to take risks. Comedy is about pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. Remember, you can't be afraid to fail. Embrace your truth, share your story, and don't shy away from tough subjects. The world needs voices that are unfiltered and honest. Keep pushing forward. That's how you create change. Finally, Richard, what message you want to leave for your audience as they navigate their own lives? I want them to know that it's okay to have their struggles. Life can be hard, but humor is a powerful tool for healing. I often remind people the only way to deal with it is to laugh. Don't be afraid to embrace your truth. And remember that we're all in this together. Keep laughing, keep loving, and don't forget to find joy in the little things. Life is short, and we have to make the most of it. Lastly, Richard, what's a parting thought you'd like to leave for those who look up to you? Keep laughing, keep loving, and don't forget to find joy in the little things. Life is short, and we have to make the most of it. Remember, if you can't laugh at yourself, you might as well be dead. Embrace your journey and never lose sight of your authenticity. That's the key to a fulfilling life and a successful career.